What is prorated rent, and how do landlords calculate it for partial months? Imagine moving into a new home and only paying for the days you actually stay there. That's what prorated rent is all about. It's a way to make rent fair when tenants don't move in or out at the start or end of a full month. When tenants sign a month-to-month lease, they often don't move in exactly on the first day of the month. The same goes for moving out. Landlords need a simple way to figure out how much rent the tenant owes for those partial months. That's where prorated rent comes in. To calculate it, landlords first find out the daily rent. They do this by taking the full monthly rent and dividing it by the number of days in that month. For example, if the rent is $1,500 and the month has 30 days, the daily rent is $50. Next, they count how many days the tenant will actually be living in the property during that partial month. If the tenant moves in on the 10th day, they will stay for 21 days. The landlord then multiplies the daily rent by those 21 days. In this case, it's $50 times 21 days, which equals $1,050. This method ensures the tenant pays only for the days they occupy the property. It's especially useful in month-to-month leases where move-in and move-out dates can vary. Landlords should clearly explain and document how they calculate prorated rent in the lease agreement. This helps prevent misunderstandings later on. Prorated rent is most often used when a tenant moves in late in the month or moves out early. It can also be used if a tenant changes units within a complex. When landlords communicate the calculation clearly, it makes the process smooth for everyone. In practice, landlords might write in the lease that, if a tenant moves in on any day other than the first, they will pay a prorated amount based on the days they are there. The same applies when the tenant leaves before the month ends. This way, both parties know exactly what to expect. Offering prorated rent can also help landlords attract tenants. It shows flexibility and fairness, which can encourage tenants to sign a lease or stay longer. It's a simple, fair way to handle partial months and keep the rental process transparent. So, whether you are a landlord or a tenant, understanding how prorated rent works can make moving in or out less stressful. It keeps things fair and clear, making the rental experience better for everyone involved.